JPC Letters. On the research for the origin of the word Fohat and the consideration of its meaning in relation to its material hardening and densification. The Secret Doctrine. Stanza 3. 12. Thence Fohat Fohat to harden the atoms. Fohat hardens the atoms, that is, by infusing energy into them, he scatters the atoms or primordial matter. He scatters himself while scattering matter into atoms. MSS, Commentaries. Fohat hardens and scatters the seven brothers. Book 3. Dzyan, which means that the primordial electric entity, for the Eastern Occultists insist that electricity is an entity, electrifies into life, and separates primordial stuff or pregenetic matter into atoms, themselves the source of all life and consciousness. There exists an universal agent unique of all forms and of life, that is called odd, **ob, Aour, active and passive, positive and negative, like day and night. It is the first light in creation. Secret Doctrine 1:76. It is through Fohat that the ideas of the universal mind are impressed upon matter. Secret Doctrine 1:30. HPB. Stanza 11. The matter of Fohat circulateth, and its fire hardeneth all the forms. The wheel that is not glimpsed moveth in rapid revolution within the slower outer case, till it weareth out the form. The many circulate. The forms are built, become too firm, are broken by the life, and circulate again. Treatise on Cosmic Fire, 31. AAB. Fohat hardens and scatters the seven brothers. Secret Doctrine 1:76. Wiki. The term, plasma density, by itself usually refers to the electron density, that is, the number of free electrons per unit volume. The degree of ionization of a plasma is the proportion of atoms that have lost or gained electrons and is controlled mostly by the temperature. Even a partially ionized gas in which as little as 1% of the particles are ionized can have the characteristics of a plasma, that is, responds to magnetic fields and high electrical conductivity. The degree of ionization is defined as Ni plus Na, where Ni is the number density of ions and Na is the number density of neutral atoms. The electron density is related to this by the average charge state of the ions through Ni equals Ni, where Ni is the number density of electrons. Wiki. JPC. We must note how Fohat/plasma hardens atoms infusing pregenetic matter into atoms. We are speaking of the material plasma or Fohat of the fourth state of matter, occultly understood. The higher states of Fohat and plasma are that which carries the life and Brahma aspect from the higher planes. Fohat/plasma are both electrically active and passive, positive and negative, yet the bearer of all energizing life. We should also note that when considering the vital infusion that energizes atoms with life and pregenetic matter, this for our purposes only comes from the higher states of Fohat/plasma, and not from the lower such as planetary electricity, or such. What then is pregenetic matter? We are considering that state of Fohat or matter, which comes prior to that which makes up the genetic makeup of the material and conscious lives we call the atoms of matter, that constructs our physical bodies. These tiny devic elemental lives construct our physical/animal bodies, of which we are in process of spiritual redemption. Science calls such genetic material DNA/RNA genes, and the DNA double helix strand/spiral and the caduceus double spiral are perfectly matched. These genes carry our genetic code, and are as such, the elemental builders encoded or carrying their own material purpose for physical construction. They are genetic and generative, and in their entire group formation hold the complete active genome or code sequence of an organism or human being. The thrill of life that sweeps them into activity is pregenetic, as the secret doctrine explains. This thrill of life is said to harden such atoms which become densified, that is, materialized in time and space, and we might ponder what this means. Only as the higher Fohat infuses atoms with its higher matter, are genetic molecules gifted with their code and purpose in life, in order to construct on the physical plane. When this is so, the more rarefied pregenetic state hardens or solidifies through the pregenetic state of matter into the genetic and generative state, allowing for the solidification or hardening of atoms into forms via electrical Fohat, the seven brothers, the Dzyan intelligences. The code and purpose of the builders in their elemental form condition the molecules, the atoms and the cells of the material sheath. Such genetic code, or relationship between a nucleotide sequence and the amino acid sequence, carries the information that constructs via the proteins, the type of form and the hereditary traits that will further modify and condition the biological organism under the law of karma, and the soul is a minor lord of karma. Wiki. The word genetics is from the ancient Greek genetikos, meaning genitive / generative, in turn from genesis, meaning origin, Wikipedia. The genetic material of a cell can be a gene, a part of a gene, a group of genes, a DNA molecule, a fragment of DNA, a group of DNA molecules, or the entire genome of an organism. Biology Online. Mongols say hada for a rock, hatago for the adjective, hard, hataho for the neuter verb, to harden, and hataho, to make fast, by hammering, hatagaho, to dry, to harden, in causative or transitive sense. China's place in philology. Joseph Itkins, 1871. 181 halves. Google Books. JPC. Key researches for Fo and Hat. Turanian compounds, Hat and Fo, referring to Japanese Badu, equating near to Chinese Fo with Buddha. C. Hatagaho, to dry, to harden in transitive state, as with fire to harden and dry. 29/12/2012. Theosophical question. Can you say what is the real meaning of the word Fohat? Answer. The word is a Turanian compound and its meanings are various. In China, Fo, or Fo, is the word for animal soul, the vital nefesh or the breath of life. HPB. BCWX 354.